Alrighty, PG-13, mature audiences only. Now, we're going way back to 1985. And we have Sargent Slaughter. He was a mail-away figure. That's right. For $3 and 3 flag points, you could get Sargent Slaughter. And I do recall mailing away for this fantastic figure. He did not come with a weapon, but he did come with his baton. And he does have his sergeant insignia on his boots, both sides. And, well, he's got pink armbands. So what can you say about that? I don't know. You could paint them white or gray or something. Hasbro does it again. Then we had the 1986 version that came with the Triple T. And, well, that was one of my favorite versions. You know, you got Sargent Slaughter with his drill sergeant hat, little whistle, and his armbands are black, so that looks way better than the pink. You know, he's not doing the Richard Simmons. And he did come with a M16, just like Leatherneck, as well as I think Copperhead also came with that M16. With the grenade launcher on it, that is one of my favorite weapons. Yes, it does stretch the hand a little bit, but I still think it's one of the best for the Joes. They should have come with like just a generic M16 for every figure, both sizes. The smaller one that came with Grunt, I love that one as well, because it fits in the hands of smaller figures. Now the camouflage one, it looks way better. You know, it would be cool if we got Sargent Slaughter in his full dress uniform. That would be fantastic. But then in 1988, we got Sargent Slaughter with the Warthog. And he did have a removable hat, but unfortunately I don't have the hat. I do have a helmet from Sergeant Savage that fits on his head fantastically. I actually love that look. You know, he's got the bolts across the chest. Not bad at all. But it would have been better if you had camouflage pants. You know, the camo pants are way better. So he did come with the Warthog. We'll talk about the vehicles in a little bit. And, well, there's the Sargent Slaughter Marauders. Now, you know, it would be cool if it was called Slaughter's Renegade Marauders. That would have been fantastic, because then you could have put all the figures in there. You could have put his Renegades and Marauders all together to form the Slaughter Group. Slaughter Group. Now I do have Sergeant Slaughter's file card. That's right. And, well, Sergeant Slaughter is a drill instructor. File name classified, top secret. Well, everyone knows it's Sargent Slaughter. Now, primary military specialty was infantry drill instructor. Secondary military specialty, survival trainer. Birthplace, Paris Island, South Carolina. And he's a grade E7 sergeant. And there's some smaller print there, but it's a little harder to read. And you can see the other part. So this came from a vehicle. Now if it was a mail away, it would just be all squared off. So, plus I think it would have one flag point on it. I do recall. Now I did try to see if I could find any of my file cards in the garage, but I'm pretty sure that maybe my sister and my mom probably just tossed them in the garbage. So it sucks, because I had like over 400 file cards. Oh, damn. Alrighty. Well, now we'll have a quick look at the Triple T. Just move our Sarge over here. We've looked at this vehicle before. The Triple T is pretty simple. It's got the open air concept. And, well, it makes him a sitting target. Now he's got these puny little lasers, which, you know, they should have put like on a ball joint. Then you could have had better rotation. you know. And then he's got like these little tiny missiles, and these missiles also come in the accessory packs. There was one missile accessory pack, and they were gray, so you did have replacement missiles if you lost them. Now, we've looked at this one before, and you know, the engine cover does come off. It does hold 2 Joes on the side, and whoa, there goes the dominoes. And my tow hook is broken, so I'm gonna have to look for another Triple T. Now, the Warthog, people love that vehicle. However, it was made with the cheap, you know, cheap plastic. We're just gonna have to slide some stuff over here. Never enough space. Collector's issues. So the Warthog, it was cool. It also, oh yes, the Triple T also came in white as a mail away. But I think they also had a Night Force version as well for the Triple T, as well as this one, the Warthog. They did have a, yes, you guessed it, a night version. But this was cool, you know, but do not drop this off the shelf. It will just shatter. Like, I did get another one for a custom for cheap, just to see. But now, a real bad engineering thing on this is the hatches. You know, they should have had like a hinge hatch, so that would have been way better for the vehicle. But they didn't. They don't have any foot pegs either. It's kind of, you know, pathetic. They do have a tow hitch, but they needed foot pegs. You know, it is a transport vehicle. And yes, it does house a few figures inside, so it fits at least 6 inside, and then another 3 in the hatch, so you could hold about 9 figures. And if you wanted to lay one on top of the engine. Now, these missiles do separate, so these are 2 parts. I don't know how well this is going to come off here. These are pretty oversized, you know. And they do separate. Almost like the hypersonic missile. It's G.I.Joe's first hypersonic missile. You know, this would have been cooler if it, if it would have had a bigger gun. And, well, this kind of gets in the way. This part also breaks, so you gotta be careful. And the plastic is pretty brittle. It's made with that hard plastic. Not as great. Now, the Equalizer, the 1989 version, is pretty cool, but unfortunately, you know, it would have been better if they would have made the links. You lost your baton. So the links, you know, if you would have used the gun from the links, bat cannon, it would have been far better. And then put these on the links instead. That would have been way cooler. But unfortunately, it's Hasbro. Now, this didn't have treads like the Mobat tank. Sorry, the Muller tank. But it did have the same body. And it does have, you know, 2 little hatches so you can fit 2 figures in here. It's got 6 missiles. It's got a little tow hitch, which this is the only tow hitch I have. But it is original. There's engine covers, or sorry, weapons covers. You can hide little weapons in there. And I actually found Hit and Run's weapon in this when I bought it. And it has a little tow hitch. I am missing one of the little mud flaps that come with it. And like I said, a constant problem is this side always seems to snap, whether it's the 1985 Muller version or the Equalizer tank. One other thing is, constantly missing parts are you guessed it, the antennas and the smoke. I have one missing there. And now this was really unfinished inside, so again, you know, they could have had a seat. They could have designed this better. Could have had a seat thing that slid out, and this could have been just attached to it. So and then you could have just slid it back in. But they cheaped out. There's also a little radar on the front, and there's another radar on right here. Sorry, that's on the back. This is on the front. You could probably use this as a laser if you wanted. You know, flip it around. This seems to pop out. Flip it around and you got yourself a little laser. And that part is always constantly missing as well. But there it goes. And they did reuse these in the Armadillo one that they made for Sargent Slaughter's Marauders. They used the same missiles. Oh. So Hasbro was really trying to save a dime everywhere they could instead of just focusing on making better, awesome vehicles. I do still love this thing. It's kind of cool. But, you know, the treads didn't move. But, like, again, like what I said with the Muller, they should have had a neutral setting. So then, you know, you could have rolled it around whenever you wanted to. Now, the strange thing is, with these Transformer crossovers, I really don't care for Transformers. And, you know, we're going to be getting a Sargent Slaughter. Well, not Triple T, it's a Mobat. So, Sargent Slaughter with a Mobat Optimus Prime. Now, I did have Transformers as a kid. And, you know, they didn't last as long as my Joes. And, well, I prefer the G.I.Joes any day of the year over the Transformers. And like I said, we're going to get a Mobat tank with Sargent Slaughter. And they did that because they wanted to cheap out so they could just slide a figure in the top and, you know, make it simple. So that kind of sucks. But there is another Sargent Slaughter, and I think he was part of a convention set for the O-rings. And so there was 5 made, and that would be the 2006. And I'll just pull it up here. And that's the only other version there. Now they did say that there might be some other versions of the one that the Triple T, just for the camouflage patterns, in yojo.com. So Sargent Slaughter, we're going to do the Sargent Slaughter version 2 was first available as part of the 5th series in 1986, packaged exclusively with the Triple T. He was also sold in 1987, then discontinued domestically in 1988. We had to do the HCC review. Now, his head does go side to side. His arms do rotate fully. His legs bend at the knees. His hips do swivel. Maggot! I love Sargent Slaughter. He was always fighting Serpentor. Love the cartoon. Yet be careful, this can crack. So that's another thing you have to worry about on the figure. And losing the baton is a hard piece to find. Like, I do have 3 mail-away figures, but I only have 1 baton between all of them. Anyone wants to send me anything, hey, feel free to. I always say. But anyways, I do love the fact that Sargent Slaughter was implemented into the line. He was a pro wrestler. And back in the 80s, you know, a lot of us did watch wrestling. So that's where we got our hero from, Sargent Slaughter, the ambassador to G.I.Joe. And like I said, HCC's retired, so we'll see you later, HCC. Hopefully you come back and make a few videos just saying hi every now and then. And maybe people will still send you something, because that's, you know, you're holding on to all your sentimental stuff. So maybe you still will make a video when you feel the need to. Anyways, thanks for watching. We're out of time once again. Have an awesome day, and